Moving on, since the start of the COVID pandemic, scientists have been hard at work trying to either treat or vaccinate against the still spreading virus. But what if existing drugs already hold the key? It's a burning question that many have asked and that Israeli researchers now may have answered. Scientists from the Hebrew University of Jerusalem are now saying that they've identified 18 drugs that could actually treat, if not quote-unquote cure, COVID-19 patients. The list reportedly including a treatment for atherosclerosis and another for the treatment of cancer. Professor Shai Arkin, a biochemist in the Alexander Zilberman Institute of Life Science, explains that over 2,800 different approved-for-use compounds were tested against COVID-infected cells, and that 18 of them, quote, exhibited remarkable potency against the whole virus in vitro experiments, end quote. In fact, Arkin reporting that almost 100% of the treated cells lived despite being infected, whereas without the pre-existing drug compounds, roughly half of the infected cells died. Still, despite the incredible potential, Arkin is keeping the names of these drugs pretty close to the vest. He argues that he cannot make any proper recommendations until they've at least gone through some clinical trials. And in other COVID news, daily infections in Israel now topping 1,400, over 10% of which are coming from abroad, including from supposedly safe countries. Perhaps then, in attempts to make it easier to stay local, the Israeli COVID cabinet is looking for strategies to open and manage cultural events. Chana Rifkin with the details.
המטרה פה היא להבין את העולם שלכם וביחד לחשוב על דרכים איך מצד אחד אנחנו לא מאפשרים לעולם התרבות להפוך למדגרה להדבקה של קורונה, ומצד שני לאפשר להמשיך לתת תרבות, להמשיך לעבוד, להמשיך לחיות. המגמה שלנו כממשלה היא הפעם לעשות הכל, לא לסגור שום דבר, כלום, ולאפשר למדינה להמשיך לפעול לצד הקורונה.
Prime Minister Naftali Bennett meeting with representatives of the Israeli culture sector at Habima Theater in Tel Aviv. The meeting focusing on finding effective means of keeping the public happy and entertained while safe behind COVID regulations. And in coordination with Culture and Sports Minister Yechiel Troper, as well as Health Minister Nitzan Horowitz, the attendees providing suggestions on how to move forward. Among them, a potential return to the Green Pass system and a focus on mask enforcement and other, quote, common sense regulations. Troper, for one, saying, quote, "We are not here to close things down, but neither are we here to close our eyes." Then Health Minister Horowitz likewise stressing the importance of transparency and cooperation between the government and the public, explaining that the government neither wants to nor intends to impose restrictions without an open dialogue. Meanwhile, theater fans not the only ones standing to benefit from the new initiative either. The culture and entertainment industry among the hardest hit by the pandemic and also the slowest to recover.